No, no. Okay, we got it. We are back. Sorry, it was disconnected there for a time, but we are back and we are live. Thank you very much here on Talk Talk Live. Sorry about that. A little technical issue, but we got it sorted and in time just to let people know we are back on the UBS Tubiest and looking forward to being back, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, as I was saying, the kit is for the Champions League going off tomorrow against PSG. Fingers crossed, Arsenal can win their first European Cup. One of the biggest days, if not the biggest day in Arsenal history, goes off tomorrow, and I cannot wait. And I am psyched. I am pumped, and I am ready to go for that. But let's get through some business here with regards to Cheyenne Bryant. I don't call her doctor because she isn't one, ladies and gentlemen. Lord knows pretty privilege has its place, and Lord knows there are a few people who have fallen for it, including the likes of Shannon Sharp, Cam Newton, and Nick Cannon, to say the least. Again, you can't make this stuff up, as the one and only late great Kevin Samuels used to say. So, we are back and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get into this here. Yeah, it seems we have done away with the credentials. We know that she's not a doctor, but a video was brought to my attention. Actually, I brought it to my own attention, and it asked a simple question. Um, uh, yes, and I will give recognition to where it's due, and that is for House of Hypocrites. Shout out to House of Hypocrites. Please like and subscribe to House of Hypocrites, doing wonderful things in YouTube streets. And yeah, his video says, "Wait till you see how Corey Holcomb ended, how Corey Holcomb end Cheyenne Bryant's career." Okay, so didn't do a grammar check there, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's worry about the content, ladies and gentlemen. Let's worry about the content, and there is content here. This man did a masterful job of, of basically cornering the subject, of basically pressing it down to minutia, to which anyone can digest. So please, if you haven't seen it for yourself, well, you can watch it here on Talk Talk Live. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. No wasting of any more time. Let's get into the Ubius Tubius, and there it is. The one and only Cheyenne Bryant, who had, yeah, the wool pulled over the eyes of many a man, but not many a professional woman who did their due diligence and realized that this woman was a charlatan, to say the least. But is she an alleged psychopath? It was brought forward by a person who, well, I don't hold in the highest esteem at the moment. I think he went away from, from his cornerstone, which was, brilliant. Good comedy. I would say brilliant, but good comedy. He was a very good comedian at one time, and then he started, swinging out and calling people's names and doing things that would get him into some sort of legal trouble, and now he's scrambling for his life, ladies and gentlemen. But again, he says he's got the skills to pay the bills, and well, we'll see how that goes, especially with regards to Anton Daniels' family. And this speaks to the one and only Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb has actually done some research on this woman and has called into effect, has really called into effect, and and has gone through the DSM-5 definition of what a psychopath is. Now, again, I ain't going to do an audible. I'm doing an Omaha right now. And we're going to find out what, we're going to Google here. There we go. DSM, because the one DSM 5 definition of psychopath. There we go. Or psychopathology. DSM 5 definition of psychopathology. Okay, so let's go into this right here. No, not issue. Okay, so right. So here we go. We have it all here. Okay, so let me see. Mental disorder. Okay. Okay, so let's see. National Health, Psychopathology. Uh, DSM-5 definition. Is it DSM-5? Yes. DSM-5 definition of a mental disorder as known as a syndrome characterized by clinically disturbance. Okay. So, to qualify as psychopathic, must meet specific conditions. Okay. All right. So, I want the clear DSM-5 definition of psychopathology. So, we will get it. Let's see. Yes. DSM-5 psychopathology. Yes. Here we go. No, we're going to do it here. Okay. So, DSM-5 psychopathology. Okay. I am not going through that method. Thank you very much. No, we're good. Thank you. Gosh darn it. Okay. So, what it is and what it is. Let's go through the Cleveland Clinic. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So you're following along with me. What is DSM-5? Blah, 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 blah. What's its purpose? 3 sections. And we're going to go through obsessive compulsive disorders. And I want you... All right, so we're going to do this. So find... Yes, so there we go. Not there. Right. Here we go. Perfect. Nope. There we are. Psycho. Because I am one who likes to find out pathology. All right. Depressive disorders, generality disorders, sedation disorder, obsessive disorder, social anorexia. But okay, I'll try and do a quick search, but it looks like this may take longer than I thought. So I'm gonna let the video do the talking, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna let the video do the talking. We're gonna trust the experts here, including one Corey Holcomb, who's not exactly an expert himself, but we do have a few reputable clinical psychologists on hand to answer said questions. So let's get into this right now. Shout out to, again, yes, there she is. We got the waves there from Lana BK. Shout out to Lana BK. So let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about, wait till you see how Corey Holcomb and Cheyenne Bryant's career. Sorry, that's the way it's read. And this is from House of Hypocrites, but do shout out House of Hypocrites doing wonderful things YouTube streets. And we're going to play the long version of said definition in a bit, ladies and gentlemen, from the one and only, I cannot believe it, Corey Holcomb. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, a clock is right twice a day. And here we go on Talk Live.
Offset was in my DM, and he just posed a question that said, hey, maybe you can help me with something. He didn't say what it was.
Right. Offset came in my DMs. See, well, you see how I put that out there? I knew I was going to get you. But he slid in my DMs and asked for a session.
There's one big characteristic that does differentiate the malignant narcissist from the psychopath. And that characteristic is anxiety. Psychopaths, antisocial personality, sociopath, whatever term you use, we use antisocial personality in the field of psychology, but most people use those interchangeably. The psychopaths, antisocial personality types, don't feel anxiety most of the time. They don't feel fear most of the time. Fear of getting caught, fear of consequences.
I'm gonna tell you this. You might want to share this video before they delete it, and you might want to watch it to the very end. This footage is so damaging, dog. It is almost undeniable proof that Cheyenne Bryant is either a pathological liar or a beautiful psychopath. And I'm gonna show you 7 instances. I'm not no damn doctor, not a psychologist, but these videos do not lie. Let's start from the beginning.
The psychopaths, antisocial personality types, don't feel anxiety. most of the time. They don't feel fear most of the time. Fear of getting caught, fear of consequences.
To the interview, Marissa.
Now, just to let you know, let's run it back to Dr. Phil. Now, a lot of people think, oh, Dr. Phil's not a doctor. Yes, he actually is. He just did not practice. At the time when he had his TV shows, at the time he was with Oprah, he did not practice, so he dropped his practice, basically. But if you look him up in Texas, I believe, or Oklahoma, or one of the states in the South, he is an actual doctor. He did receive his doctorate in psychology. He is an actual doctor. He is verifiable. If not, then there would have been a whole scandal about him already. Believe me when I say this man is indeed a doctor. Other than those who play themselves on TV, they need not. They can go nameless. They can go nameless. Let's continue.
Consequences.
To the interview, Marissa, it was unlike any other. Her demeanor behind the scenes, meaning when the camera shut off, what happened? Oh, she was fine. She hugged me, thanked me again for asking the tough questions. She loved how I handled it. She also appreciated that I gave her more than 5 minutes to talk about the book. We took a picture together, exchanged numbers. She stayed for an additional 20 minutes.
I would like to read the definition of a psychopath. Chronic lying or manipulation without remorse.
When I said I worked under a license, see, all of this is terminology. The people would open up their ears and do what school teaches therapists to do. I'm not a therapist, but...
Tell the audience out there where you first got your start.
Okay, you didn't hear she slept that in. She slipped that little bit in. For those who are still believing that Cheyenne is indeed a doctor / therapist, please listen to this again.
To do. I'm not a therapist, but...
Tell the audience out
she is not a therapist. She's gone on record to say she is not a therapist. That was at the Breakfast Club just a few weeks previous. She's gone on record to say it. Steve's T says, no expert, so Corey will do. No, we do have experts. We do have Dr. Phil, who is indeed a psychotherapist himself. Who does have his doctorate in psychology. So we can see him as a reasonable expert on the issue.
Yeah, where you first got your start.
As like a therapist, I started off as a marriage, family, child therapist about 18 years ago.
Okay, she said she's not a therapist. Now she goes on to Joe Budden just a few weeks ago and says she is one. Something's wrong here. Let's continue.
Checks the box. Superficial charm that feels strategic rather than genuine.
They say, I read a study that say the more educated a woman is, the freakier she is.
Yeah. Facts.
I read that.
Facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have to get your verification from one Shannon Sharp, who literally gave away his career for Pum Pum. I think that's the clinical definition. For vajayjay, as Oprah would say. Literally gave away his career for vajayjay. And he has been a noted vajayjay lover who has put himself in extreme points of peril to get it. He has said, and I quote, I don't want to date my age, I want to date my wage. Oh yes, his wage, after he had handed over tens of millions of dollars to a 19-year-old who ended her OnlyFans career. This is our authority on the subject. Okay. Too many blows to the head, Shannon. Too many blows to the head. Let's continue.
Man, that in Cosmo.
The facts.
Shout
out to Cosmo. Shout out to Cosmo.
Yeah,
cheers, Cosmo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How many degrees you say you got?
6.
Oh, my goodness.
6.
Jeez.
Hey, you're a great person. Well, how am I a great person? Because you're people.
Checks the box.
Yeah, super.
Lack of empathy for other people's suffering.
The people who speak up get attacked. When you suffer from PTSD and you had 2 suicide attempts, you think I wanted to reach out to her looking for platforms? You think I wanted to reach out just for myself? No, I wanted to help.
Checks the box. Exploiting people for money, status, sex, attention, or convenience.
Y'all having this little high school sex. Y'all doing that little rabbit shit still. We don't want that. We don't want that. You can keep that right over there. Right over there.
I thought the further the trip, the freakier and the nastier it got, Doc.
Listen,
That ain't how it is.
the further the trip
Yeah.
to my heart, to my safe space, to my mind, to me accessing everything, your cell phone, everything you have,
Yeah.
is the more sex we have. That's the nastier that a woman who loves herself and respects herself will get.
Sound
Okay, listen. This is coming from a alleged clinical psychologist. The lack of professionalism is unmistakable. But anyway, if you wish to reach her heart, I'd like for you to show up at an Usher concert near you with a group of her 40 and older year friends, scantily clad, to how shall I say this? To reach out and touch someone. Let's continue.
like she weaponized sex and control access to it unless she has full control and access to the things that are personal to you.
Check the box. Refusal to take accountability. Everything is someone else's fault.
Group of licensed professionals who have an issue with this, they teach you all something called active listening. None of y'all seem to be actively listening.
Check the box. Aggression, intimidation, or enjoyment of humiliating others.
You're very gentle, and it comes at an angle that doesn't always work for people.
This is 1000% passive aggression. Cheyenne Bryant is essentially calling this man a homosexual. Something they didn't have problems with in the past and her overstepping her boundaries. Just because Buddy ain't your typical masculine displaying man, knowing that he has kids and a wife and he's a heterosexual, she still...
So remember, a masculine man to a person like Cheyenne Bryant is a Pookie and a Ray Ray. It's a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Shout out to Rich Cyrus. It's a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's a masculine man to these to a woman like Cheyenne Bryant. A man like Toure, who we featured last week here on Talk Talk Live. A man like Toure, who has a wife and children at home, who they may see as a bit, as not as hard, as not as how should I say, criminally involved, not as braggadocious and braggadocious as said individuals we have already explained. Well, she can see that as a man who can, be put can be placed on their heads the alphabet gang tag. So she called him. Well, she called him. Let's hear what she called him. Let's go back for a second. Y'all think I'm playing. Let's continue.
Masculine displaying man, knowing that he has kids and a wife and he's a heterosexual, she still pick at his masculinity and his manhood.
Let's just stop and go back.
Which usher in a response from Toure, because he's defending that masculinity and manhood and will not be disrespected because they had a conversation about it already. And she does this on live television.
Because I'm wrapping the show and you're interrupting me.
First of all,
this is what we spent a whole meeting on this.
First of all, Toure, first of all, Toure.
Why don't you let me wrap the show? I'm ending the show. What is the point of interrupting me? We're getting out of here. Like, what is the point? What is the point? It says go to host step up.
When you're talking to me, lower your fucking voice when you're talking to me.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a woman who's supposedly a clinical psychologist with the mouth of a sailor. The mouth of a sailor. You would like to be within this woman's clinical confines? I don't think so. He saw someone who he thought was a bit lighten the loafers, and he said, "Yeah, I'm gonna come after this one. Try that with me. I'll tell you what, Cheyenne, it ain't gonna end good. But anyways, we will continue. Doesn't stop. It doesn't end there.
Because you're acting very, very gentle, very soft, and very feminine. And this is the problem. Corey, you talk to your wife like that. You don't talk to me like that.
Checks the box. Impulsivity and risk-taking without a concern for consequences.
The conversation about your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online.
Mm-hmm.
How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm going to clear it up once on here. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like for you to hear her explanation of why she cannot. There is no sign. There's no sign. There's no head or tail of this doctorate or dissertation at all online. Let's hear what she has to say.
Audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit.
Yeah. I think she just got off the stage and is waiting for a lap dance. Allegedly, with a mouth like that. Anyways, let's continue.
Checks the box. Repeated violation of rules, boundaries, or laws.
I am not your wife. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not your wife, gentle. I'm not your wife, softy. Don't talk to me like that. You talk to your wife like that, not me. Teray, talk to your wife like that. Do not talk to me like that. That is not how you That is not how you professionally approach me. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Check.
Frank and Ariva, I apologize.
Check yourself. You don't talk to me like that.
Hold
talk
on,
to your
Doc.
wife like that.
Doc, hold on.
Shut the fuck up talking to me like that. That's what you do.
And how this executive producer does not shut this woman up is beyond me. It beggars belief. Tori just wants to finish a show, but this woman tries to try me. I'll show up to your house. These girls get away. They're getting way too liberal with that mouth. I kid you not. Not the one. But anyways, nonetheless, Tori's trying to be a professional here. He's trying to end the show. He's trying to do the right thing. Does the executive producer allow for that? Let's continue.
That's what you do.
Checks the box. Mimicking emotions convincingly without deeply feeling them.
President of the local NAACP chapter says it was Harbor Division's idea to march together.
If we continue to lock horns and not hands with people, or with the LAPD or with anybody, we are not going to get any resolution. Without unity, there's no peace.
But how important is it to really just take a couple minutes a day for yourself to hold on to a little bit of that hope and normalcy?
Absolutely. I am the self-care advocate. I believe that we produce...
How a news program could allow a woman to jump on their telecast, touting herself to be a PhD without doing their due diligence is a dereliction of duty of the highest order. Where are the producers? Where are the showrunners? Where are the people who should be doing background checks on this lady? Yeah, just whatever she says, just put it out there.
It's who we are. And if we don't have care that we implement within ourselves, we can't produce that in the relationships that we engage with and the people that we are interacting with.
Yeah, that's mirroring.
Checks the box. Last one. Using vulnerability disclosures from others as ammunition later.
Offset was in your DM. Have you revealed anybody else that's ever been in your DM? You put anybody on blast?
I love that you said that. Offset was in my DM, and he just posed a question that said, hey, maybe you can help me with something. He didn't say what it was.
Right.
That's all he said.
Right.
And because he never followed through,
Right.
I never followed through. We never did a session. He
Right.
was never my client.
Right.
When I shared that on Jason Lee's show, that was not a
Like he was trying to slide.
It was not a breach of confidentiality, first of all, because he was not and is not my client.
Right.
So it was no breach.
Offset.
Okay, so you think that a professional would use the utmost care to not mention a person's private DMs in public. But again, you're dealing with Cheyenne Bryant here. This woman is here to try to get a check. This woman is here to try to get some clout. So she'll do anything and everything to get it, even if she exposes someone with their, how should I say, intimate detail. And she's supposedly a clinical psychologist, a therapist, a PhD. Really?
Came in my DMs. See, well, you see how I put that out there? I knew I was gonna get you. But he slid in my DMs and asked for a session.
To ask for a therapy session. Okay,
and that's why I want to give him his props.
Hold on. Give it up for Offset looking for help.
And he did not slide in my DMs asking for anything that had to do with me. It was very specific to, you know, hey, maybe you can help me with something. He never said what.
Yeah, you know what? Why would he want to slide into your DMs asking for help when you do him like this? Why? Why? Why would anyone do it? If you're going to turn around and expose him for your own monetary and famous gain. Why? Why would they do it? You were in it for your own ulterior motives, my dear. I will never, and no one should ever, call you a doctor, period. Even if you got your doctorate, you should be barred from any state medical board that you apply to. Because if this is how you act with public clients, imagine how you operate with private ones. Let's continue.
Right.
And so when I said that, I was saying that to more use Offset as an example because I could, because again, he's not my client, so that's not a breach of confidentiality.
Yeah, of course, but she had to get her name out there, right? So that's why she dropped Offset. What an absolute jackass. Let's continue.
To say, listen, other black men, being that Offset has a following, he's a rapper, he's in the limelight, he's attached to Cardi B. Asking for help is powerful.
Right.
You can slide in a DM to ask for help. It doesn't have to be to ask for something else.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did the appropriate thing, and my intention was to give him props. Now the internet took it and made it something else.
Sounds like Corey Holcomb was right all along. Sounds like she's also a pathological liar. What Corey Holcomb been saying?
Checks the box. That bitch is a psychopath. We just looked it up. That bitch is a psychopath.
She looked like it right there. I tell you what, man. Whoa. Tell you what, man. Whoa. Allegedly.
If you think about all of the stuff that she checked the box with, how do you check the box with everyone? That's a psychopath.
Research tells us that because psychopaths don't feel remorse, they don't feel sorry, so they don't fear doing something that they're going to feel bad about. They don't experience anxiety the way other people do. Because it's like, I don't care what happens. I don't have any empathy for anybody else. I don't care.
We need all the
negative
minerals to send.
We're going to stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to
that a woman who
House of Hypocrites, who did a fabulous job in breaking this down. He did a fabulous job, and he brought it to my attention. You know what? He may not be too far off. These allegations listen, a lot of them will stick. Now, for those who thought, okay, they may have missed that DM5 definitional review by Corey Holcomb. I got you back. Here we are. So we have run back the Corey Holcomb show from this week. Let me just get this out of there. Bang. Good job. We're going to run back that whole assessment of that Corey Holcomb laid out in full view. I mean, this is the only noteworthy part of this show, quite simply, because after that, it's just him talking about his haters and, you know, and trying to laugh at them and laugh off what are serious times for him. But anyway, he's right about this. He's on about this. We got to give Corey his jacket on this one. We got to give Corey his props on this one. He did see this through. He actually did some research on this. Shout out to him. As I said, a clock is right twice a day. And in this instance, he may be onto something. So I'm going to play it through. I'm going to let you hear again the DSM-5 definition of a psychopath. And let you decide, indeed, if Corey is right or Corey is wrong. It's up to you. These are all allegations, of course. Nothing has been put to print here, so this is just a discussion. Cheyenne may just be, you know, a pathological liar, allegedly, or, well, a sociopath. Either one, but let's see if she is indeed a psychopath. So we're going to let this run from the beginning because I think that last video was a bit choppy when it came to Corey Holcomb, so we're going to let it play from the original tape. If you wish to, like and subscribe to Corey Holcomb doing well. Well, he's doing things in the YouTube streets. I wouldn't say he's doing wonderful things in YouTube streets, but again, he's doing things in YouTube streets, and you know that's getting him involved in a lot of hot water. But here, he may be onto something. So let's hear from Corey himself. Let's get into this here on Talk Live.
Are rumors of her orally craving vagina?
Yeah. The sociopath is conditioned by social settings. You know, they have to be cold to survive, and it becomes the way they are because they were conditioned by their environment to be this way. So, you know, I wonder.
Can you believe a bitch with fake eyebrows that's talking to you? As soon as I see a bitch with fake eyebrows, I'll be like, what the fuck are you up to?
They look like Ray Caruth right there. The day he got a
when
going to bury the body.
Not to be mean or anything. She's an attractive woman. She's not ugly.
Well, I just saw her on the Zoe show.
Right, but I'm sorry.
And that was before she got the body. When she was on the Zoe show, nobody was looking at her body because she didn't have that type of body. I saw her transform, which can happen. I know a lot of women who transformed, literally, like, what's up now? You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's one of the things they depend on superficial looks. Psychopaths are really into looks.
You thought that was who?
Bow Wow. When you first
That's
put it up,
hilarious.
I don't have my glasses on, and I thought, you know who Bow Wow is, right?
I know who Bow Wow is.
When he was younger, I thought I don't have my glasses on, so I looked up and I was like, "What is Corey doing a story on him for?"
See what it is. Sometimes you get caught without the makeup on. And are you telling me this is all that to you?
Oh, because she probably hit it.
Where you find that, bro?
Listen, I will.
Corey be finding shit, dog.
Let me tell you something. I would buy a book from this woman if she wrote a book on how to erase your history off the internet.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have a history from like around the Zoe show on back on the internet at all. She erased it. I would buy a book from her if she taught me how to erase my history off the internet. Because she has to be given her credit for that.
Yeah. Is there a way for somebody like this to rectify what they've done publicly? Could she come out and be like, look, I'm just hustling?
I think she missed that mark, though. I think she missed the timing.
At what point in a hustle do you maintain your respect if you tell people, look, I'm just hustling?
Listen, if you come clean and tell people what's up, I believe, I'm going to put it like this, real motherfuckers will respect that. But no matter what, if you get in an argument with her, you're going to say, get your fake doctor ass out of here, funk ass hoe. I'm just saying, that's just the way it go. If you don't.
This is true. I give Corey Holcomb credit on that. You will call out her shortcomings, which is the fact that she doesn't have a doctorate or tact or any sort of filter. any sort of shame. So let's continue. Let's continue.
For that shit, what you known for on the streets, that's what motherfuckers gonna bring up when any animosity is in place.
That's true.
Oh, because perpetrating a doctor, that is a crime. That's not like that's not like lying about being a pilot, nigga. You feel me?
Well, you go to jail if you take somebody up in the air and told them you're a pilot.
For sure. Well, she getting in the plane and flying the motherfucker. She taking in patients.
No, well, there was
she
that one
billing
woman,
insurance. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but that was awfully serious because that one woman that's on the internet, that's the first one to come out to say she actually went to her one time because that was enough for her to say, "Oh my God, I can't believe I went to."
Went to who?
To Cheyenne.
What happened?
She said she actually, when she went in the
that's crazy.
Oh, you're talking about the lady that seeked her help.
yes, and she was in the service and she literally has a brain injury. She has serious problems. And
How do you know?
she's
going to
on
Dr. Dre
she's
for
on
surgery.
the internet talking about it.
But this is what I'm trying to tell
DRE.
people.
Now, for those who did not catch who that person was, I'll show you who it was. We did feature. She was featured on this last video. Let's see, where is she? Where is she? Around. I think it happened before. Then here we are. Bingo. That's the lady that we're talking about here. This one. Ms. Keys. Yes. She says here, mental health is nothing to play with. I've had good and bad experiences with VA licensed therapists, and I don't rely solely on the VA for my care. I am in a better space, regardless of what people say. Please stop speaking up. I'm ready to rest from this. We know you're being genuine. Okay, yeah. So this is the lady who had sought out, I believe. Again, I could be wrong here. This is the one who, I believe, tried to seek out Ms. Bryant's help, and it was one time was enough, as Darlene was saying, and she did not want to go back. Lord knows she didn't, and we will continue.
It's right there again.
Right.
You don't know nothing about that bitch either. Let me tell you something. When people talk to me, they might as well be saying,
She has her
shut
name.
the
She-
fuck up.
she
What the fuck
presents
is you
herself.
talking about?
Well, she
Especially a
presents
motherfucker I don't know.
Well, she says she's in the service and she gives her full name. She's actually the first one to come out to say, hey, I actually sought out her help.
If she did seek out her help, she may be able to come up.
Well,
It
that's-
might be a lick.
Well, that's why everybody then followed up with the whole legal aspect on her because they're saying, not you done went and treated, this woman, and this woman has serious brain injuries from the service. She has PTSD.
Okay.
She tried. So
That's what she said. Just like old girl says she a doctor. You can't get me to listen to what you say in this word is bond in this society now, because I'm saying I think 70% of society be capping most of the time when they talk.
I got schizophrenia. Take this aspirin. Bitch, I got schizophrenia.
Bitch got fake eyelashes, fake hair, fake titties, and all the but she a doctor. Get the fuck out of here, bitch.
Degree, yeah.
You ain't had time to be no doctor. You tired from flying over there to motherfucking Brazil, getting your shit put together. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Doctors understand their reputation means a lot. And that girl cannot stop coming out the bag because she's really just a street bitch who ran it on the lanes. Everybody run it on the lanes. Who don't run it on the lanes?
Well, I would say the fiends. There, but Corey's right. Absolutely, she saw an opportunity. She took it. She literally took it from took it away. Took it to a lot of individuals just because she had pretty privilege. She ran it up, and people fell for it, including the Nick Cannons, the Cam Newtons, and the Shannon Sharps of the world. Shout out to Joe Budden, who saw different. Shout out to the Breakfast Club, who saw different. Shout out to the game was up, to my reporter from DC, who saw the game was up, who clearly did their due diligence, who realized that this woman was not who she said she was, and did not try to sexualize herself to try to get over. Shout out to them. Let's continue. Well, we're going to move a little further in because I want to get to the point where she speaks on, where Corey speaks on the DSM-5 definition. Let's continue.
and have skits made out of what was done in the courtroom. Because, homie, if you want to see something funny, you should see that bitch talk in the courtroom. That bitch... Which one? When I got mine or when she got hers? When they were serving her with one? They were serving her and you were just like, damn. Yeah, I was sitting there watching it. Yeah, bitch got a restraining order. How the fuck you get hit? That bitch said, and he hit me at 30 miles per hour. Everybody in the courtroom was like, this.
Okay, well, he's talking about his...
That's what she said in the courtroom, dog.
Yeah, he's talking about
and
his...
you prove yourself or make attempts to prove yourself, you're wasting time while you're alive.
Okay, here we go.
Pretty serious.
Who fucking a bitch that got some sense?
There you go. That was cool. And that is from, go back down. Yeah. The Real Dita.
And what was that first sentence again, D?
Cheyenne Bryant is the epitome of the modern delusional woman.
Okay, now hold on. That's where I want to freeze it at after Craig get through playing the trumpet.
He's blowing his nose, y'all.
Right.
My
So,
jazz.
but look, Darlene, do you agree with that statement? That she is the epitome of the modern delusional woman?
Yeah, I mean, there's...
Let's continue back here.
Which one? When I got mine or when she got hers? When they were serving her with one? They were serving her and you were just like, damn. Yeah, I was sitting there watching it. Yeah, bitch got a restraining order. How the fuck you get hit? That bitch said, and he hit me at 30 miles per hour. Everybody in the courtroom was like, this dumbass.
What? At 30 miles per hour?
That's what she said in the courtroom, dog.
Oh, wow.
Hey, man, I ain't never seen the court reporter almost get fired for laughing.
Oh.
I want to put a message out there. If anybody's on drugs like that and they need help, I know somebody that will take you in. They own a sober living home here in Los Angeles County. It's free of charge. All you got to do is hit the 5150 email. I promise I'll get you some help. Christina, if you need some help, anybody on drugs, and you're serious about getting off drugs, I got a boy that
Okay, Christina, is they're referring to as Christina Payne. That's the person who's sued Corey for, how should I say, for battery. And it was on camera. I wish you good luck, Corey. I wish you luck.
Several sober living homes. He's subsidized through the government. He'll help you beat the shit if you're serious about it.
No. That bitch is on outright drugs.
Right.
Do you think?
Okay, let's continue.
Now, I have approached this woman and I have told her, if you ever are seen in my neighborhood again stalking me, I am going to start the procedure of pressing charges on you because I don't like the fact that you are watching me knowing I got other bitches.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay,
That's
so
the
I'm sorry.
shit happening. But
Okay.
I want to read something.
Finally, we got it, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about this. I didn't cue this up earlier. My bad. I was just darting around a little bit, but we finally got it. Finally got the definition right now. I was wondering why he was rambling on about Christina Payne, but clearly he was done with speaking about the definition. But it's here now, so let's continue.
The people out there to see and maybe speak on and try and understand, because the truth about everything is about to be revealed in a way a lot of y'all wasn't even thinking. Now, I would like to read the definition of a psychopath. Craig.
Psychopaths are born.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna put it up here. First of all, put up that picture behind me. I just want to read what a psychopath is. We got that picture up? Listen. Chronic lying or manipulation without remorse. Checks the box. Superficial charm that feels strategic rather than genuine.
Hey, you're a great person.
Well, how am I a great person? Because you're people.
Checks the box.
Yeah, superficial.
Lack of empathy for other people's suffering. Checks the box. Exploiting people for money, status, sex, attention, or convenience. Check the box. Refusal to take accountability. Everything is someone else's fault. Checks the box. Aggression, intimidation, or enjoyment of humiliating others. Checks the box. Impulsivity and risk-taking without a concern for consequences. Checks the box. Repeated violation of rules, boundaries, or laws. Checks the box. Mimicking emotions convincingly without deeply feeling them.
Yeah, that's mirroring.
Checks the box. Last one. Using vulnerability disclosures from others as ammunition later. Checks the box. That bitch is a psychopath.
Okay, so let's go back now to let it run through because I wanted you to get the full definition uninterrupted. So we're going to go back and we're going to give you certain examples of said behaviors from Cheyenne Bryant's past. So let's continue. As we're getting back to Corey Holcomb, we're going to stop at each one and give you certain examples to say yay or nay from my opinion. Let's continue.
I used to be swole.
Well, I used to be that nigga in college,
Where
boy.
you put the boobie?
I used to love putting baby oil on in front of the...
Okay, let's continue.
First of all, put up that picture behind me. I just want to read what a psychopath is. We got that picture up? Listen. Chronic lying or manipulation without remorse.
Chronic lying or manipulation without remorse. Quite simply, if you are touting yourself as a doctor for the last 4 to 5 years without any verifiable proof and don't care if you do show it or not, as she has done so on The Breakfast Club, she's done so on Joe Budden, as she's done so on said talk show in Washington, yeah, definitely checks the box. Let's continue.
Checks the box. Superficial charm that feels strategic rather than genuine.
Hey, you're a great person. Well, how am I a great person? Because you're people.
Checks.
And yeah, I can see that, especially when it came to the likes of Nick Cannon, especially when it came to the likes of Cam Newton, especially when it came to the likes of Shannon Sharp. Definitely when it came to the likes of Shannon Sharp, she really wanted to, and especially the Alphabet Gang host there, Jason Lee. Yeah, she definitely wanted to, be a charmer, be an individual, just for the aggrandizement of herself rather than for others. So this was all self-motivated. Yes, indeed, that does check the box. Let's continue.
The box?
Yeah, super.
Lack of empathy for other people's suffering. Checks the box.
Now, this remains in question if she lacks empathy for other people's suffering, but yeah, that remains to be to be seen if indeed she lacks empathy for other people's suffering. But then again, you take a look at that Touré video with himself and Touré, and she called him a sissy, she called him an Alphabet Gang member. There can be some legitimacy to that, so we can consider that. That can be considered, but again, let's continue. That's not exactly foolproof, but let's continue.
Exploiting people for money, status, sex, attention, or convenience. Check the box.
That is indeed a check the box moment. Yes, indeed. Corey is absolutely right on that point. From my opinion, I believe that indeed, she was very exploitative. She really wanted to use, innuendo and the showing of erogenous zones simply to, especially when she went to Usher concerts. Lord knows, she tried to bring attention to herself and try to elevate her career as a fake doctor. That indeed does check the box. Yes, indeed. Corey is right about that one.
Refusal to take accountability. Everything is someone else's fault. Checks the box.
That is indeed a check the box moment. Yes, indeed, especially when it came to her degree. She blamed the school rather than herself. She said the degree was not available, and if she paid for it, then they would disavow any knowledge of her studies there, which is quite simply, well, fool's gold and a lie. Um, Transcripts, dissertations should be allowed, well, should be easily discoverable and easily transferable at any time from anywhere. Quite simply, if you have a Wi-Fi password or some sort of internet connection. So that is a lie. Yeah, that does indeed check the box. Let's continue.
Aggression, intimidation, or enjoyment of humiliating others. Checks the box.
That definitely checks the box, especially that Torre episode. She took joy in calling him a sissy when he wasn't one, when he had a family. But he thought that he could be the one to mess with, and he wouldn't strike back. So he said, "Yeah, let me get this guy here. He's the one. Try with me. I will show up in your doorstep and ask you to say that again. That will not happen here. But for the sake of professionalism, for the sake of the show, Toure shows better angels. But try me. Asking Cheyenne Bryant, ask. To you, but that indeed does check the box. Let's go.
Impulsivity and risk taking without a concern for consequences. Checks the box.
Yeah, well, she has come this far with the lie, and she cares not how far she has to take it. She cares not how far she has to take it. However, I think that her book has been pulled. Her self help book. Her her book. Uh, some sort of help, some sort of assistance, has, I believe, been pulled, and I think refunds are coming from the publisher, realizing that this woman is indeed not a doctor, even though she puts it on book title cover. Why the publisher did not do their due diligence on this lady is ridiculous, but they wanted to catch a lick. They saw this woman as noteworthy, so hey, let's get this out there so we can make some money. However, that obviously backfires. So that indeed does check the box.
Repeated violation of rules, boundaries, or laws. Checks the box.
All you have to do is look at her behavior during the offset period and him sliding into DMs just so she can get a name. She clearly is not a clinical psychologist right there. She cares not for patient doctor privilege if she was a doctor in the first place. She just cares to get her name out there through salacious means. Yes, that indeed does check the box. To you, Corey.
Mimicking emotions convincingly without deeply feeling them.
Yeah, that's mirroring.
Checks the box. Last one. Using vulnerability disclosures from others as ammunition later. Checks the box.
Yeah, listen. All you have to do is go through the last few months, and all those things do check the box. So it's up to you to decide if this woman is indeed a psychopath. But allegedly, there may be reason to believe that she is. Now, again, she could be a sociopath. She may be a pathological liar. But this woman will stop at nothing, and I repeat, nothing, to get what she wants, and that is notoriety, fame, some sort of status. However, it has clearly backfired, And she there instead of being apologetic, she's doubling down because I believe one of her heroes was Stephen A. Smith, and she said that Stephen A. never backs down from a point that he is raised, and so she shall not either, which stuns me to the core of my being. However, look at who we're dealing with here: an alleged potential psychopath. So we're gonna just get some closing remarks here, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted this to be an hour. I wanted this to be short and sweet. But quite simply, shout out to House of Hypocrites. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. Yes, he is right today. He is on today with regards to this subject matter. He broke it down to his very last compound. And quite simply, this woman may allegedly be a psychopath, allegedly be a psychopath, or else she may be a sociopath of the highest order, but she definitely is a pathological liar. So, what are we to do about this? We are to distance ourselves from this woman at all costs. Please, 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 mass media, social media platforms. I am just a small one here, but I advise you stay away from this woman. If you have any sort of credibility or whatsoever, do your due diligence and please hold her to account for her misgivings because my girl in Washington did, and Lord knows she was praised for doing it because she had to give her a tough interview because quite simply she was. The lies were there for all to be seen, and it was her journalistic duty to search for facts. And there are no facts to be found, ladies and gentlemen. There are literally no facts to be found. There's doublespeak, there's lies, and there's deceit. And that is the long and the short of it. So we're going to end it here on IG, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live, live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, the road to 1,000 subscribers. We'll be back with another show tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to go further with the subject or we're going to move on to something new, but do look out for any promos that are going out throughout the day. But of course, do realize Champions League tomorrow. Shout out to Arsenal. Let's go get the big ears. Talk soon. Peace. So we are back here on Talk Live, but thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live on YouTube. We appreciate you being here with us today. Yeah, Corey Holcomb may be onto something here. This has to be delved at even further. We would need an expert's opinion on this subject matter. We only have Dr. Phil's expertise on this issue, but I think Corey Holcomb makes a very, very viable case for this matter. And it is up to you to decide about these allegations. Again, these are simply allegations. This has not been proven true. So please be advised of that. No lawsuits are coming my way. These are just simple allegations. So it's up to you to speculate for yourselves. But thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live, live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Tomorrow night, we'll have another show, and we'll see what sort of mood I am in tomorrow. Hopefully, these boys right here, these boys behind my head right here, will make it their first European Cup. If that's the case, I may be a slight bit tipsy, slightly, but it's for a good cause, believe me. The first Champions League in the 140-year existence of this club. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, that comes to fruition tomorrow. So please pray for my boys from North London as they move towards Bucharest and the Pushkash Arena, and hopefully they bring home the big ears to England for the first time. Thank you very much for joining me here on Talk Live. We'll be out with some more promos as stated tomorrow. And this is sponsored by Dun Talk, of course. Like, subscribe, comment, the road to 1,000 subscribers. But we'll be back with more promos tomorrow. And fingers crossed, my mood is absolutely enlightened. But we may delay the show to Sunday depending on how, sober I may be at the time. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, listen, if we win, it's gonna be a party and there'll be tears shed, ladies and gentlemen. R.I.P. my cousin Keith Williams. All right, thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We're gonna end it right there, and we'll see you soon. Do look out for promotions on IG, YouTube, and TikTok